Kia ora whānau, long time no see. I thought I'd just give you a wee video update to kind of give you an idea of what's going on. I can imagine you're pretty nervous or unsure about what to do, or unsure about what we're all doing, which is fair enough. I'm kind of in the same boat. But what we've done is put together a wee unit for you for while you're working from home. So close viewing's all done. You can wipe that off your list. The marking's been done, but you won't get your grade. Well, they're actually being moderated at the moment, so you should get your grades actually, hopefully by the end of next week. But anyway, I'm trying out something new today, so I've put together introductory sort of lessons for the new unit, which I'll talk through here, and hopefully my screen, I've got my laptop here in front of me, but hopefully my screen will project onto this screen if everything goes according to plan. So go into Google Classroom and you'll find obviously what it looks like, just what it normally does. And then the first one there is that I've posted a new assignment called Teenagers, Introductory Lessons for Week 1, Term 2. So if you go to classwork, you'll find a new thing called Connections from Home. So last term we were working on close viewing, but obviously now the new heading is called Connections from Home. So you'll find your work there, so open that up, and once you do, you'll see obviously it's all been assigned to you guys. We can see Jackson, Ian, Blake. Open that up and it will look like this, okay? So this is what it looks like here, and I will, hold on, just find my other recording. So obviously what you want to do is write your name, and then Teenagers ENB Connection Study. So this is what we're going to be focusing on. It's a theme. The theme is on teenagers. I know that we were supposed to do it on the growth mindset stuff. Excuse me. That growth mindset stuff like like Rocky and Creed 2 and stuff. But obviously because of this lockdown, I can't get access to those films. So I've decided to change it up and make it hopefully just as exciting. It will be exciting, but it won't be that. When we do go back to school though, I will make it a goal of mine to be able to show you those movies, because I know how badly you wanted to see Creed 2. But anyway, so this is what it looks like here. So in Term 2, we'll be focusing on the theme of teenagers. We will be asking and reflecting on questions like, what's it like being a teenager? What do people think of teenagers? How are teenagers different from one another? And what are some strengths and struggles of being a teenager? And then on the following page, you'll see a series of questions to help us begin thinking about these themes. So in task 1, you'll see it says answer the following questions. This is pretty easy stuff. It's just sort of like to get us thinking about what we're going to be doing. So this isn't necessarily your assessment. This is just going to kind of get you thinking about the assessment. So the first one is a brainstorm. So you want to write down what are the positive and negative images that exist of teenagers. So this could be in like movies or the media or other people's ideas, or you can even ask your parents what they think about teenagers. What do you think about teenagers? Do they look scary? Do they look, how are they represented in movies, TV, music, all of that kind of stuff? We want some positives and we want some negatives. This is just a brainstorm, remember, so there's no right or wrong answers. It's just giving you a chance to start thinking about those stereotypes or sort of those representations. So for example, I'm writing down here, future of society. So teenagers can be viewed as the future of society. We've got energetic. Obviously, teenagers have a lot more energy than older people, which gives them skills to that they can start developing. Technology literate. So that means that when I say the future of society, you guys are sort of, teenagers are the ones that have all the access to all the new technologies. So everything changes all of the time. So for example, when I was at school, like smartphones first came out, and then we had like social media came out when I was still at high school. Whereas you guys have sort of been brought up with it, and as you get older, you're going to notice that things develop and change as well. And then you'll find that you'll have different grasps on things than older people do. And then as the younger generations, maybe your little siblings or maybe your nieces and nephews, they're going to grow up having new knowledges that you don't have, that you'll struggle to learn. So sort of like me, I'm struggling to learn few technology things, but you know, I'm lucky enough that I'm a bit younger, so I can kind of wrap my head around it a bit easier than some older people. New ideas. So again, that can be anywhere from technology to just anything really. So in every sort of job or career path that you choose, there are going to be new ideas. Like even in teaching, there are new skills and we're learning new things about the world that young people, like say the graduates from a few years ago like me, we're bringing new ideas into teaching. And so for example, the fact that we're in this pandemic at the moment, a lot of older teachers are really struggling with the online stuff, whereas, you know, it's hard, it's not easy, but I'm struggling a lot less than some of the older people are because I'm more used to doing this kind of stuff. Like for example, I'm shooting a video, putting up my screen and adding some music and all that kind of stuff. And it took a couple of hours for me to figure that out, but I mean, for some older people, they wouldn't have any clue as to what to do. And some negatives? I don't know, let's have a think. What have I written? Rowdy. So obviously teenagers have a lot more energy, so, and they're, what have I written? Naughty, sorry. And, okay, decision-making skills. So that kind of goes all hand in hand. So teenagers' decision-making skills, obviously because everything's quite new to you, your decision-making skills can be skewed to be either not very good or very good. It depends on the situation. I remember when I was a teenager, I made a lot of terrible decisions in high school, outside of high school, and just all of that. Even ask your parents, I'm sure they made some silly decisions as well. But because that frontal lobe is not developed yet, it doesn't develop till, you know, you're in your late 20s, you don't really have the ability, well you do, but you have less of an ability to make the right decisions sort of thing. Not with everything, obviously, just with some things, okay? Especially if you start mixing things and blah, blah, blah. I won't get into that though. Okay, task 2 is journal writing, okay? So in your first journal, you're gonna write down what is your view of teenagers. So what do you think about being a teenager? Or what is your view of what other people think about teenagers? Or what is your view of other teenagers? How do you think that they're portrayed in the media? And why do you think teenagers get a bad rap in the news? Why is that? You want to aim for about 300 words, so this is just kind of a wee reflection task, getting you to think about all of that kind of stuff, because later on we're going to be reading texts about different teenagers and their sort of experiences in life and sort of like navigating the world, okay? So as a teenager, navigating the world can be very tricky because everything, as I said before, can feel new. Okay, and then your second journal, you want to write your own description of what you think best represents a teenager. So what are the things that you think about when you think about being a teenager? What are you interested in? What are the things you enjoy? What are the things that you really don't enjoy? Can obviously other teenagers like and relate to different things? Why or why not? You know, just because you're into, say, basketball, does that mean everybody has to be into basketball? Or why do you think that somebody might not be like you? Why do you think somebody has a different experience to you? And what does that mean? Does that mean that we can't get along, or does that mean, you know, we've just been brought up differently and we've got different sort of thinking patterns? What else do we have here? And that's about it. So, as I said, this is my first kind of attempt at doing this. So if it's a bit boring or confusing, I'm very sorry. I will write out what exactly we're going to be doing, and also we'll get onto the Google Hangout sometime next week. I'll send out an email to you on Tuesday. It's Sunday. No, it's not. It's Monday at the moment. I'll send out an email tomorrow, kind of outlining what times I'll be available. Although I'm going to be available pretty much all the time to ask questions and things. But I'll send you a really detailed list of everything that we're going to be doing. Okay? Thank you. See ya.